Hi, so first off, I apologize for this crazy hair you're witnessing, but we are going to have a little chat. You might have heard recently that there was a tweet that was going around that was talking about used books, aka secondhand bookstores and ARCs. I'm not going to link the tweet, I'm not going to be putting the author on blast or whatever. I'm sure she regrets saying this by now. It is a thing that was said though, and I wanted to have a chat about it. The basic premise of the tweet was this author saying that people who always say they love her books don't buy her books. They buy them in used bookstores, or they only read ARCs. And then, of course, she briefly mentioned piracy. It kind of ties into the whole piracy discussion that has been flooding the book community for months. But the problem is that she mentioned piracy in the same breath as used books and ARCs. So we're gonna talk about this for a second. This isn't gonna be a very rational, super put together discussion, but I just wanted to throw some thoughts at you. So first off, let's cover ARCs for a second. I'd like to say that ARCs are unpaid promotion, essentially. Yes, they get a free book, but book bloggers and booktubers put so much work and time into ARCs. Reading actually takes time, and in that case, it's kind of like a job. You feel you have this commitment, and so you have to do it in a certain amount of time, get your review sent in, and it's a lot of work. Editing videos is a lot of work. Editing blog posts is a lot of work, and it takes time. They are paying in their time. Most people are not getting ARCs that they're flipping through and then it's I don't care, throwing them out the window, or taking the time to promote those books. It is unpaid labor, and a lot of the time people who actually love the book and can afford to will buy it anyway once it's finished. So that's about ARCs. I'm sure you guys all know that. ARCs are hard to get, by the way. Physical copies are really hard to get. Most of them are gotten through NetGalley. I'm lucky I can get them through work, but if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to get them most likely. So okay, we covered that a little bit. So I want to quickly talk about used books. I literally made a video once all about why I loved used books. They are my favorite kind of books and is my favorite kind of book shopping, hands down. Yes, I like to save money, but I love the digging, and I can't do that in a traditional bookstore in the same way. So just to show you the kind of things you can find in used bookstores, this is my copy of The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz that I got at a used bookstore in Toronto. This is a more expensive example of a used book. It costs the price of a traditional hardcover, and that is because it is a first edition book from when it was originally published, which is amazing. It's from 1950 something. When is this from? 1959. This book is from 1959. It's crazy. It's a really great condition book. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm happy I found it. I would not have been able to do that in a traditional bookstore. Second of all, I want to talk about the more obvious thing, which is that used books are more affordable. I just don't know what else to say other than that used bookstores save you money. It allows you to either buy books you've been wanting for a long time, or it allows you to buy books that you would never have bought at full price. I got the first book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy at a used bookstore, and I guarantee you I'd never have bought this if it wasn't a used bookstore for $3. And it's really not like piracy, just to clarify, because somebody did pay for this book in the first place. And then they donated and passed it on. Do we want to just throw our books in the garbage? Is that what we want? Do you want your books in the garbage? No? Then give them to used bookstores and authors don't complain about it. Also, the more a book can get passed on, the more people can hear about it. And it's not the same as piracy, once again, because somebody did pay for it in the first place. And I really hate the notion of just use libraries. I think libraries are amazing and they're some of the most special places in the world, and they deserve to be protected with everything that we have. But keep in mind that borrowing a book is still not the exact same experience as owning a book. Basically, if you're saying just use libraries, then you're saying that people of lower income and poorer people don't deserve to own nice things once in a while. They don't deserve to own copies of books, basically. So that kind of sucks. And look, I get it with libraries, there's more of a track record of who's borrowing your book. If there's more demand, they might borrow more copies. I get that. But keep in mind that it won't necessarily make you that much more money. Not every book that's used and donated once gets donated over and over again. So it's not like thousands of people are all reading your book. But frankly, if they are and they all have one copy of a book, isn't that kind of magical? I get it. People need to live. I'm not saying that's not a thing, but I think it's very beautiful to think that copies can spread from person to person and get shared and passed around. Also, I just want to give you a picture of how much books actually cost. I work as a bookseller, not a secondhand bookseller because I'm not that cool, but I do sell books for a living and I come into contact with them every single day. And the thing I know most is that books are insanely expensive. If you look at the price of a typical adult hardcover, it is approximately $36. That is insane. Even ebook versions can cost $20 or more. Keep that in mind. An average adult paperback can cost anywhere from $22 to $25. Teen books are a little more variable. The books there cost anywhere from $13 to $16 for a paperback, and usually cost anywhere from $22 to $27 for a hardcover. And when you're a teen and you work a part-time job or you have no job, that's a lot of money. Even kids books, usually 9 to 12 middle grade, are usually at least $20 $10 for a hardcover copy, usually about $9 or $10 for the softcover. So books are not cheap, they are extremely expensive. Yes, this is with the exchange rate here in Canada, but they are expensive no matter where you are. They cost a lot of money, and I know it goes to support something good, and absolutely it's great to support people at full price when you can. I bought movies secondhand, and I'm not trying to rip off the directors of the movie. I bought board games secondhand, and I'm not trying to rip off the creators of the board game. And when I buy books secondhand, it's usually because it's a good deal and I can afford it, and you know what? It's something I might not have read otherwise. I also wanted to briefly touch on the fact that when we say that buying from secondhand bookstores is bad, essentially you're saying that either supporting small bookstore owners is bad, because that's who a lot of these people are, or supporting charities is bad. I know there's debate around charities like Goodwill, but a lot of secondhand bookstores are really, really good charities. I bought a couple books at the Oxfam Bookshop in London, and it was fantastic, and they had so much great stuff, and I knew it was going to a good cause. And that's what the majority of these charity bookshops are doing. So it's not really fair to say that that's a bad thing. I guess they can go out of business, and charities will get even less support than they get now. Yay! Second of all, do we really need to pit libraries against ARCs and secondhand bookstores? Really? They are not one and the same, they are different, but they are both valued and they are both needed. So please stop saying that buying books secondhand or having ARCs is bad. Please stop criticizing people for their unpaid labor. Stop spreading the idea that you can't be a reader if you're poor. That is a ridiculous thing to say. I don't think this is about specifically banging this one person, but I think it's an attitude that people have. You can still belong in this community and you can still be a reader regardless of your income bracket, and that's something we say all the time, and it's time we actually put our money where our mouth is. Please excuse the cliche. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy this little rant. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. If you're new here, I upload videos twice a week, so please subscribe to see more of them. If you'd like to follow me on my social medias, I'm gonna link them down below, but in the meantime, I will see you guys next time.